What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Silent Hill Ascension, the rumored release date, and it is rumored, at least at the time I'm recording this. Everybody's kind of stating it as a fact, and I guess maybe I will as well, but Konami themselves have not said anything. The official Twitter account for Silent Hill Ascension hasn't said anything, at least when I'm recording this. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about the rating. There's some pictures, and my thoughts once more on this very interesting game that I really don't know if it's going to work, but it's definitely going to be an interesting try, to say the least. So first thing is the release date, the rumored release date. And this actually comes from the Play Store to register for this on Android. So the odds of this being real, I think, are incredibly, incredibly high, seeing that I don't know, how many times would a game be put on the Play Store and it's got the date right there and, it's got the rating, it's got the pictures, and then it turns out to not actually happen. I feel like it's going to happen. And well, what is it? Well, it's October 31st. It's actually another reason why I very, very heavily believe it. I believe that's actually a Tuesday as well. So it lines up in terms of popular gaming days, but it also lines up with, well, what's probably the most important is it's Halloween. So that's a very clever date. Honestly, I didn't think the game I knew the game was close, from everything that we saw. They've gone to Comic-Cons before, and it's the game's getting very, very close. I didn't think it was this close. I thought this game would maybe be very end of this year, beginning of next year, before Silent Hill 2's remake, but not 3 weeks from now, right? That's kind of crazy. But again, it gets me excited because of what this thing could be. It also gets me a little bit worried. So October 31st is the rumored date, and I do think that ends up happening. We get a few pictures of it, and it looks, well, I don't want to say it looks amazing. It looks fine. I think fine would be the term that I would use to describe it. Another thing to throw out that I've mentioned on my Twitter, it's rated T for teen. Now, this is a big one for me that really stands out. This is Silent Hill. It's Silent Hill, and you're rating it T for teen. I get it, I guess, in terms of wanting to get it out in front of as many people. When the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is rated PG-13. I get it, because you don't have to go too far, and you want it to probably to appeal to as many people as possible, including kids. Kids like Five Nights, but when you think of Silent Hill, is there that many kids that grew up? Silent Hill 2 is pretty darn old. I didn't play it when I grew up, so it's who are they going for with a T for teen rating? I don't know. I would have preferred it to be M. So that's a little bit of a red alarm for me, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just kind of bad. The final part is, again, I want to throw this out here because this might be the last time we talk about it until the game technically releases. Is this thing going to work? So for those that don't know, I've actually covered it. If you maybe just type in Silent Hill Ascension Podcast now, you'll probably find videos that I've covered. We've talked about the details. We've talked about how this game is going to work. But the short of it, this is basically a telltale, an interactive kind of thing. But it's weekly. It's episodic. It is us as an audience, a mass audience, voting on things that happen, and you're going to be able to do it daily. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be things for if you miss the day. So say on Halloween you missed that day, the next day, I think they even talked about maybe every day there'd be a recap of what happened the day before. It's bold. It is something that, they've done it before. This company, they've actually made a Walking Dead one that, from what I have gathered, did not do too well in terms critically, commercially, anything-wise, was kind of middling at best. So I am worried because they've never actually been able to pull it off, and it's such a weird concept of us all watching literally an episodic show that'll have recaps, they'll have all this stuff. We decide on the outcomes. They'll rerun the season so we can choose different outcomes. Once the season ends, they'll do it again. It's just weird. It's not necessarily bad. It's just we've never really had something so widespread that's worked before. The Walking Dead, raise your hand if you knew they did a Walking Dead season where people got to kind of vote on the outcome, because that happened. So will this work? I've never been too sure about it. I felt like this is probably the most experimental. Silent Hill F, and there's some things that I'm sure will push it a little bit, but in terms of what they're really going for and just being so different in terms of what a video game is, this is the most out there, and I can absolutely respect that. I just really don't know if this thing is going to work. And not that the T for teen rating completely sinks it, but it's okay, well, now it's not even going to be super, super over the top. Like, again, I really expected M. I really did. But maybe they just want as many people as possible. Oh, let me throw this in, by the way. From what people have gathered, and I think even like Dusk Gollum has talked about it, and even what the studio themselves have said. So right now it's like on Android. You're going to be able to do this on your phone. It's also through like everything. It's going to be through consoles, through PC. They haven't like announced much of it yet, but they're going to have to soon. So if you're wondering, well, is this something I can watch like on my PS5 or on my Xbox? It definitely seems like it's going to be. Phone is obviously what, they're kind of pushing out now, because it can be like the biggest thing. If you think about it, Silent Hill 2's remake is obviously, like, in terms of what we know and how close it is, it's pretty big. But like, if you can get tens of millions of people to just hop on their phone to watch a weird show and like vote on things that has Silent Hill as like the name, this could be actually the biggest thing of the entire group. So, I'm kind of rooting for it. I'm kind of hoping that it works, but there's really no evidence that it does work, and like they have to kind of prove it to me. So we'll see. I mean, Halloween, today's a Wednesday, so Halloween is not too far away, 27 days, if my math is correct. So we'll see what happens. I don't even know how I'm supposed to cover something like this, but maybe I'll just keep my eyes on it and kind of see what happens. We'll make some videos if it feels like it needs to happen, okay? Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.